Hello again, Year 5, and welcome back to Maths. So in Maths today, we are looking at multiplying 4 digits by 2 digits. Should have an S on the end there, I forgot that, it's up there. And our words of the day are placeholder, just because that's something really easy to forget when we are doing our tens column. Okay, so our first warm-up question of the day is, what are the first 5 cube numbers? So remember, cube numbers, you times a number by itself twice. So for example, the first cube number would be 1 times 1 times 1. The second cube number would be the answer of 2 times 2 times 2. So see if you can work those out. Pause the video, have a go at those. You might want to work out more than the first 5, that is up to you. And then we'll compare on the next slide. Let's move on and have a look at those. So the answers, so 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So the first cube number is 1. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So the second cube number is 8, which is 3. The third one is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. The fourth cube number would be 4 times 4, and then times 4 again. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. The fifth cube number, you'd get that by doing 5 times 5 times 5. We know that 5 times 5 is 25, and if you multiply 25 by 5, you get 125. So well done if you got all of those, and especially well done if you've continued and worked out a few more cube numbers. So you get some really big numbers pretty quickly with cube numbers. We have worked on those before, but well done if you got those. Okay, so we have another edition of Countdown here. So we have our target number, which is 426, and we have our 6 numbers that we can use to get to that target number using multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division. So remember, you can use those numbers once. The numbers 25, 3, 4, 8, 4, and 7. So you've got 2 4s there. Okay, so pause the video, give yourselves a few minutes, see how close you can get to that. And once again, there are a few ways to get to that answer. Okay, well done if you've got that answer, or if you've got close to it. And we are just going to go through one of my attempts to get to 426. So I've put the numbers here, so I thought I'd tick them off as I do them today. So we've got 8 times 3, so this is to make sure I don't use number twice. So 8 times 3 is 24. Then we do 24 minus 7, which is 17. Then we've got 25 times 17. See, I've paused here because I've noticed a little mistake. See if you've noticed a little mistake. See? Oh, I haven't noticed, mate. This is what I've done. Confused myself. Right, take it back. So we have our 17 here and a 25 here. I was convinced I'd made a mistake, so I've got a 25 there, and I only got a 24 there. However, I do have a 25 there. All is okay in the world. So now we have 25 times 17. If you work that out, you get 425. Oh, look, we're only 1 away. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 425 plus 1 is 426. So even though I had a little panic there because I thought I'd made a number up that I didn't have, I did have it. Whew, and it all worked out all right in the end. So that's one way that you can get 426 using those 6 numbers. And you can see I've only used them 1 time each. Okay, last warm-up section. Answer these 4 questions. Give yourselves a couple of minutes, pause the video, off you go. Okay, so the first one, particularly tricky. It's asked you for one lot of 415. So 415 times 1 is, of course, just 415. Next one, same question. However, this part is 100 times larger than this part, which means our answer must be 100 times larger. If you times it by something by 100, you move it over 2 place value columns to the left. Let's put those up there. Thousands and our 10 thousands there, so it'll help you with hundreds go to the 10,000s, the 10s to the thousands, the 1s to the hundreds, and you put our placeholders in here and you get 41,500. Look, these are quite similar again. Those two, exactly the same. These two, 200, it's just 2 times bigger than that, which means we need to have our answer 2 times bigger than this answer. So 2 times bigger is 83,000, because 500 add 500 is 1,000. 1,000 times 1,000 times 2 is 2,000. You add those thousands together, you get 3,000, and then 40,000 times 2 is 80,000. So the answer is 83,000. And then you'll notice here, once again, remember, multiplication is commutative, so it doesn't matter what order you do it in, because you can switch these numbers around. You're still going to get the same answer. It's not the same as division and subtraction. No matter what order you do multiplication and addition in, you're always going to get the same answer. So they're exactly the same. These two numbers, however, this one is 1, a lot bigger than that. So we need one more lot of 415. So what do you think we need to do? We just need to add 415 onto this answer. That's a little bit confusing, but I spoke about it anyway. They've overlapped each other. So all you need to do is add 415 onto this answer. Just ignore this little tangle I've got myself into there. I've explained it anyway, so you just add one more lot of, let's get rid of that, one more lot of 415, so 8,300 plus 415, and then you'll get the answer 83,415. That's a little bit clearer because you've got 201 lots of 415 here and 200 there, so one lot more. Skip past that, didn't see that. Right, so we're going to move on to our main learning for today, which is multiplying 4 digits by 2 digits, remembering our words of the day, which is placeholder. So if we look at this first question together, 2,313 times 32. Okay, so what's the first thing we have to do here? We have to do our ones column. So we have 2,313 times 2, and then we'll have to do our tens column. But if we do the ones column first, we're going to do 3 times 2, which is 6. 2 times 110, 2 lots of 110 or 2 lots of 10 is 20. 2 times 300, 2 lots of 300 is 600. And then we've got 2 lots of 2,000. 2,000 times 2 is 4,000. So we have done our ones column. Okay, then we're going to go on to our tens. So we could just go straight into 3 times 3, which is 9. However, that would end up with a 9 here. But because this 3 is in our tens column, it actually means 30 times 3. And that is certainly not 9. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to put my placeholder in so that when I do 30 times 3, I do not get 9, I get 90. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so you'll notice I didn't talk about the place value columns in that section because I don't want to confuse you too much at the moment. Let's just concentrate on the simple process. So if you keep that in mind, I'll finish going through this question and then I'll zoom back and I'll go over it again, just using the correct place value columns. Okay, so then all we have to do is add. So 6 add 0 is 6. 20 add 90 is 110. So you're exchanging your 100 over to the hundreds column. You've got 600 add 300, which is 900. Add another 100 is 1,000. So you have to put that 1,000 under the thousands column and 0 in hundreds. Then you have 4,000 add 9,000, which is 13,000. Add 1,000 is 14,000. So you're going to have to put your 10,000 over, your 4,000 in. Then all you're doing is 60,000 at 10,000, which is 70,000. So the answer is 74,016. So as I said, just before I move on to the next question, I'm just going to zoom backwards to here. So we do our tens column again, but I'm just going to tell you the place value columns as I go through, just because you might prefer this method, you might not. A lot of people prefer choosing the placeholder and then saying 3 times, doing the 3 times 3, 3 times 1, 3 times 3, 3 times 2. However, I'm going to just go through the correct way of saying things, just so we have been through it. So the first question is 30 times 3, which is 90. So I'll need a 0 in my ones column and a 9 in my tens. The next question is 30 times 10. 30 times 10, 10 times 30 is 300. The next one is 300 times 30. If we do 300 times 3, we get 900. Then we have to times it by 10, so we've got 300 times 30, which is 9,000. Then we have 2,000 times 30. 2,000 times 3 is 6,000. Times that by 10, we get 60,000. Okay, so you'll see we're exactly the same digits. Just I've concentrated on the place value columns here. And then I won't go through the adding again, because we get exactly the same answer. So there's 2 different ways of thinking about it, but you're going to get the same answer. So you might just like to use your placeholder and then do 3 times 3, 3 times 1, 3 times 3, 3 times 2. Or you can think about these. Up to you which approach you find best. Right, we're going to have a look at another question here. And if we look carefully, you will notice it's the same one, but we're just going to go back here and look at grid method. It's just to remind ourselves there are different ways of doing this. So we've just partitioned it into our thousands, hundreds, tens and ones. So we're going to do 2,000 times 30 here, which is 60,000. 300 times 30 is 9,000. 10 times 30 is 300. 3 times 30 is 90. 2 times 2,000 is 4,000. 2 times 300 is 600. 2 times 10 is 20. And 2 times 3 is 6. Then you have to add all of those together and you get exactly the same answer. So if you like doing the grid method, which is like the area method, just without the base 10 pictures, you can, of course, use this method. You will end up with a lot of adding at the end though. So if you prefer that one, give that one a try. Okay, so moving on to a different question now. So 6,324 times 33. So if we lay that out in our column method, it's the same question, which is 6,324 times 33. You could pause the video now and have a go at this question yourself and see if you get the same answer as me when I go through it. Or you can just continue listening. It's completely up to you. Okay, so what's the first thing we have to do? We have to go through our ones column. So we have to do 6,324 times 3, then 6,324 times 30, because the 3's and the 10's column. So as you can see, I've just represented that there. All right, let's do the ones first. So 3 times 4 is 12. So we bring the 1 over here for our 12. 3 times 2 tens is 6 tens, or 60, plus 10 is 70. 3 times 300 is 900. Sorry, that just crossing out the 10 that I'd exchanged there. So 3 times 300 is 900, and then 3 times 6,000 is 18,000. So exchanging over to the 10,000s, putting our 8,000 in, bringing our 10,000 up, crossing it out so we don't accidentally use it again. Right, so this time we're going to use our placeholder word of the day. Don't forget that when you move into your tens column. And then we're just going to think of this as a 3, because I've already times it by 10 by putting my 0 in there. So let's think of this as a 3. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 6 is 18. See if you notice anything about those numbers. You might have noticed it over here. This one is 10 times bigger. And as you can see, if you times 18,972 by 10, you would have got 189,700. So it might have been one way that you could have helped yourself, so you have to do the same multiplication. Don't have to do that though, you can just work through it. And now what do we need to do? We need to add, so we can add all these digits. So 2 add 0 is 2, 70 add 20 is 90, 900 add 700 is 1,600, 9,000 add 8,000 is 17,000, add 1,000 is 18,000, 10,000 add 80,000, add 10,000 is 100,000. 100,000 add 100,000 is 200,000. So the answer is 208,692. Okay, so similar style of question here. I would definitely recommend here that you pause this and have a go at this question on your own, and then watch the video from here to see if you've worked it out correctly. If not, just watch it again and see where you made your mistake. But I would definitely recommend pausing it before you follow the rest of this video. Okay, so we've got 4,145 times 52. I've laid this out in my column methods. I'm just going to show down here the multiplication calculations that I'm doing. The first one we're using the ones column, so yeah. Oh, I'm going to go through this, because if I do that, it's just going to come up. So let's use my pen. 5 times 2 is 10. Exchange my 10 over. 2 times 4 tens is 8 tens, plus 1 10 is 9 tens, or 90. 2 times 100 is 200, and 2 times 4,000 is 8,000. So I have finished my ones column. So I'm just going to put it across there just to remind myself I've done that for the purposes of the video. This isn't 10 times bigger, so I can't do any fancy stuff here of shifting it over. So I'm just going to go, oh look, where's the day? I was just about to forget that as well. Can I use, oh, look at this. I can use a different colour. So my tens, I'm going to do in blue. So I'm going to use my place holder here. So as I've put that in there, I've times everything by 10, because by putting that 0 in, I've shifted everything over one place value column to the left, haven't I? So I can just do, instead of 50 times 5, I'm going to do 5 times 5. I know that's 25. Put my 5 in there. Carry my 2 across. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 2 is 22. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. 5 times 4 is 20. I haven't got anything to add up here. I'll put my 20 in. And as I've discovered something new, you've got to make the most of it. Go back to my pen. I'm going to use a different colour again. How exciting. So 0 add 0. 0, 90. Add 50 is 140. 200 add 200 add 100 is 500. 8,000 add 7,000 is 15,000. 0 add 10,000 is 10,000. 200,000 add 0 is 200,000. So 215,540. Right, moment of truth. Erase all. Me! Got the same answer. So that was just me going through it because this animation just went through it instantly and that wasn't very helpful. So it was just me going through it with you, myself, with my exciting different pen colours. So that's another example of doing 4 by 2-digit multiplication. So this one's a bit different because this one has been worked out for you. But it says, can you spot the 3 errors? How many errors are you looking for? 3. So, person who's calculated this has made 3 mistakes. Can you spot their mistakes? I'm going to go back to my red pen. I'm just going to highlight that just because words of the day is very important. Can you spot their 3 mistakes? So pause the video, have a little think, talk to yourself if you want about what mistakes they've made, and then we'll go through them. Okay, let's have a look. So the first mistake, see in our ones column, we've done 4 times 2 is 8. Then they've done 4 times 0 tens. It's 4 tens. Anything times 0 is 0, so that should be 0. Are there any other mistakes there? Well, there's 2 more, because we've been told that there's 3. So this number is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because we're in the tens column there. They've approached it as if we're in the ones, so they need to give a little hint, a placeholder there. So there's another error there. That means that, they've done it again. I mean, I was going to say that means the addition is wrong, but the third error was actually over here because they've done 2 tens. 2 times 0 is 2. And we know that 0 times anything is 0, so that should be 0. And then, once we've corrected those mistakes and added them together, we get 129,648. Okay, thank you very, very much for listening. So attentively, I've lost my word there. Attentively to this lesson. The activities are once again on Tapestry and Teams, and we really look forward to seeing how you get on. Just remember that we do have our live feedback sessions every day, and if you come along to those with any problems that you're having, we'll try and go through them during our feedback session. I know sometimes it might need a bit more explaining than that, and then we'll look at a different way of doing that, maybe me putting up some other examples if that is helpful. But usually we can figure out any little problems whilst we are on the feedback session. So give those questions a go, have a look at the answers, see how you've done, and I'll see you soon. Thanks again.